Do you ever feel unmotivated? Do you ever feel stuck, particularly when it comes to your biggest goals? Not just reaching your biggest goals, but even realizing what your biggest goals actually are. If so, continue watching, because in this video, I'm going to explain how you can use visualization to open your mind and reach these goals. Visualization is something that I talk about all the time, and that's simply because it's probably one of the strongest things that you can do yourself to help yourself with literally anything in your life. Now, there's lots of ways we can visualize. We can visualize for things in the past to cancel them out. So you can go back to an event where you behaved in a way that you wish you hadn't, and you can imagine behaving in a different way to desensitize that situation. And you can also visualize yourself in the future in situations that perhaps you would normally behave in a way that you're not happy with. So you can visualize yourself behaving in a better way in order to be ready for that situation. And then the other way, which is the way I'm going to be talking about in this video, is actually visualizing your goals, visualizing yourself having something that you've always wanted. Visualize yourself doing these things in the future and how to get them. So the first thing to talk about really is, what are your goals? And it's quite surprising when you speak to people that some people actually don't have any goals. They're just going with the flow and they've not any particular direction, and what will be, will be. So the first thing to use visualization for is to realize what the goals are. So sit down and think, what do I actually want? You know, look at other people around you for inspiration. Look at the world, look at everything, and think, what do I actually want? Do I want a better car? Do I want to learn to drive? Do I want to be healthier? Do I want a bigger house, a promotion, a new business, a certain amount of money? Whatever it is, you can use visualization to open up your mind and realize what it is that you want. And so that's the first thing to do, is realize what your goals are, realize where you want to go, what you're aspiring to, and then the next step is to visualize yourself in the process. So if you want a promotion in work, then you need to picture yourself doing whatever it takes in your particular profession to get that bonus, to get that promotion, whatever it is you're after. So perhaps picture yourself really happy going to work every single morning, completing projects before the date that you're meant to, doing everything really easily and with that high motivation, and really leading by example. If it's perhaps more money that you want than you can in a business, then you can picture yourself actually going to see the bank manager to get that loan to start that business. Picture yourself actually in the business, whatever it may be, whether it's a cake shop or a bar, whatever it may be, you can picture yourself actually there in the process of building your dream. So these are the first things to do. Number one is actually realize what your dreams are. Number two, actually visualize yourself in the process on the way to getting these dreams. The interesting thing about our goals is everybody has different ideas of what they want when they actually think about it. Now, it might not be something that you actually want. It might be something that you want to get rid of. So, for example, maybe you want to stop drinking or stop smoking. Maybe you want to slow down on the drinking, or whatever it is, whatever that vice is you want to get rid of. So you're actually seeing yourself without something rather than with something. So in this process, you can picture yourself going to the bar but not having an alcoholic drink, going out with friends but not accepting a cigarette. And you picture yourself in these moments behaving in the way that you really know you should behave if you're going to be this person that is cutting back or stopping altogether whatever it is you want to get rid of. So you can picture yourself in the process. Now, this is a great idea to rehearse what you're going to be doing. Also with diets, I used to help a lot of people with diets years ago, and I used to tell people, be completely ready on that takeaway night when the rest of the family are really excited and they're ordering from the takeaway menu. What are you going to do? Are you going to crumble? Are you going to listen to them all saying, come on, it's just one night? Or are you going to look at that menu and you're going to be prepared because you've already looked at it, and you're going to choose exactly what you really can have to stick with your diet, something that's not too bad. So you're rehearsing it, so you're pitching it. So when it comes to that, let's say Friday night, and the menu comes out and everyone's excited and who's going to phone tonight and we can't wait, then you're ready. Straight away say, right, I'm having this, 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 and that's all I'm having. So you're ready. So you visualize this happening. So when it happens, you're not put on the spot so much. It's almost like you're in control of the situation because you visualized it. So these are really good things to remember. Now, the next thing is to visualize yourself actually with whatever it is. So you can picture yourself in your new role in work. You can picture yourself in your business. You can picture yourself in your big house or in your fast car. You can picture yourself a year from now or 2 years from now. You've not smoked a cigarette for a whole year. You're celebrating a year without smoking, or you've cut back the drinking, or you've given up the drink altogether. So you can picture yourself as the person that you really are aspiring to be. You can picture yourself with the goal completed and ready. You can even picture yourself with the goal completed and sitting down and starting again and thinking, right, now what's my next goal? Because if I can achieve that, I can definitely achieve this. And then you never stop, because we always need goals. So that's the process of visualization, to get yourself from the drawing board all the way through to success. Now, the next thing to do is to make this a habit. Now, how many times do you think that you've sat there every day and just daydreamed about nothing? Your mind just goes from one place to the next, the next, the next, and you can't even remember what it was you were originally thinking about. Well, the more you stop that and use your imagination and your thoughts for things that are really going to be helpful, like visualizing your goals, visualizing how you're going to get your goals, visualizing yourself with your goals completed, this is where you really turn the tables and you really start to use your subconscious mind much more than ever before. And when we do this, when we're mindful as much as possible, things that we want come faster. Things that we never dreamt of having actually materialize, and our lives are completely changed. And this is so true. I did it, and I've mentioned this many times before in many videos. I did it. I've done it with loads of things, but the main thing I did it for was to prepare myself to speak on stage and hypnotize people on stage, which is frightening for anyone to think about. And I did it. I visualized that much that when I first did it, I wasn't even bothered. And when I first started thinking about it, I really was bothered. And I thought I'd be a nervous wreck, just like anyone else would be. Doesn't matter how much confidence you may have or you think you have. If you do something like that's in front of everybody, that is daunting. You know, I've got lots of friends that sing, lots of friends that do all sorts of things on the stage, but they can do it with nobody in front of them. They can do it with no volunteers. They can stand there in front of no one. Whereas with what I was doing, you needed people to start with. Then you needed people on the actual stage. You needed a lot of different things. And so to be able to get past that and not worry about it, that's really difficult. And I visualized doing this so many times over a 6-month period, every morning on the way to the gym, with my pad. I started off with my pad with everything written out that I needed to remember, and then I got rid of the pad because I'd remembered it, and then I was going over and over and over again, and I did it that much. I promise you, the first time I did it, I didn't even care at all. I was really buzzing instead of really anxious, and it was easy. So the proof's in the pudding. If I could do it, and where I was to where I am and where I got to in this particular part of my life over 10 years ago, anyone can do it. Because I really was, I'd never used a microphone. I was really nervous, and then all of a sudden, I smashed it, all because of visualization. So yeah, I'm a big advocate for visualization because it works so well for me, and it can work so well for you, I promise you. So there we go, visualization. You can get yourself motivated right now. Picture yourself being motivated, picture yourself getting whatever it is you're going to get from being motivated, picture yourself in it, picture yourself without it. Whichever it is, whichever direction you need to take, get on it right now. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I love talking about everything I talk about, but I particularly love talking about visualization because it's like this superpower that we all have, and not many people know about it, and some people that know about it, they don't use it, and you really have to start. Start now, start today, start picturing your goals right now. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on so you get to know when the next video is coming out, and please tell your friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.